We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In the garden where the green leaves sway, see bunnies rolling up, we light it all way. Mr. Guinness got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
What up?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Hump day,
So,
midweek. We're almost
before
over.
we get into it, I do have a quick question. What happened to the old Gannix? Who is this young new Gannix that's standing beside me?
Well, you know, the summertime is here. Had to give a little trim. I figured if I didn't do it now, I was stuck with it for the whole summer because then I'd have some crazy like beard tan, and then I wouldn't be able to shave it. So I was like, you know what? We're doing it now. I spent today outside at work, and well, I mean, I've spent this whole week outside at work, and it's been warm, it's been sunny, and yeah. So I'm getting that tan going. So yeah, fresh Gannix.
Bald
Absolutely.
face Mr.
Bald
G.
face. Yes, yes. I honestly I feel like I just shaved off 10 years of my life. I'm only in my 30s now. So
Yes.
thank you. Feels
So
better, man.
last week, I bet you it feels so much better too, especially like you said, working outside, and I know you work outside a
I feel
lot,
so light.
so
It's a lot of weight
yeah.
to carry around. Ask Luke, he knows. Luke knows. But yes.
So
What were you
yeah,
gonna
so
say?
last week we had sorry. I'm laughing at the comments. Yes. So last week we had a great interview. We had Andrew Heckman. So if you missed that episode, you could go back and rewatch it, or you could watch it over or listen to it over on Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network.
Yes. I think you can actually watch him over there too.
You can. You can
I
also
think
watch
it's
them.
actually I think it's the videos over there too, which I didn't
Yeah.
know they did that. It was weird the first time I realized that their videos on Spotify. I'm used to just music over there, but we're videos over there too. It's crazy.
Yep. Most people,
But
though,
yeah,
if they go on the Spotify, it's to listen. If people want to watch, they usually go on YouTube. But you do have the
yeah,
option, which is great.
yes, yes. And not only that, but huge shout out to Alcana Concepts. He is now
Yes,
a official sponsor of GCN, so that's pretty dope. He's out
that
there
is
making
dope.
moves in the community, so definitely go check out his website. It is in the notes at the bottom of our screen here,
In
so
the
you can go in
description
there
below.
and click the link if you want to go check out some of his stuff. He's a badass graphic designer, so you want some
Yes, a
logos.
big shout out to L.
But he's not your typical logo creator, you know, like the ones we all block and ban from Instagram. He's not one of those guys, so don't block and ban him. He's cool.
I still do that.
Oh yeah, all the time. But not L though.
So yeah, this week, oh wait, before that, we are almost up to our 1,000 subscribers. So what does that mean, Mr. G?
That means that we are putting together a cool giveaway. We did a pretty cool one at 500, so we're trying to top the 500 with 1,000. So we're we've been putting together some prizes and stuff like that. We've been talking to some people, and I do believe our guest tonight is actually one of those people that said he would toss in for that. So when we do the 1,000 giveaway, you'll get some cool stuff. You got to be here to win, though. It's the same as it always is. We run the giveaways on the show, not Instagram, not Facebook, not X, not any of that. It's all here live on the show. So when it happens,
Yes.
everybody will know that it's coming. So make sure you're
So don't
here. Make sure
forget
you
to,
subscribe, all
yes,
that fun stuff.
like, share, and subscribe.
Hell yeah.
And with that being
Yeah,
said, I think we might be, it might be time to introduce our guest for this week,
dun,
which
dun,
most of the chat
dun.
already knows, and the chat are excited.
Yeah, I know. I've been excited for this one too. I have.
So what do we have this week? This week we have. Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
dun.
Mr.
Crop Culture Chris.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on? I feel like that picture of you with the bird. I feel like that's an iconic picture of you.
It's because that was so we were just talking off, before the show. That was my first post on my Chris account, my personal IG account. So yeah, that was my foray into the cannabis culture. Like not paying much mind to, oh, maybe somebody from work might see me. I kind of just said screw it and just really embraced it at that point. So I
Yeah.
figured weed should taste good shirt, just put it right out there, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
I like
it
that
worked out.
shirt. Yeah, that's a cool
Yes.
shirt actually. I've seen that in a couple places. Who is that? That's somebody's like clothing line, isn't it? Somebody from the community?
It is, yeah. That's Miles from Weed Should Taste Good. He's got a genetics line, and then he also has his fermented plant extracts.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I saw that somewhere like recently. I don't know if it was when I was looking stuff up about you or I was
Yeah, you
digging
probably did.
around somewhere and I came across that and I was like, hey, that's that shirt. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So before we get too far into it,
Yes.
I always do. Do you want to give everybody a little introduction on who you are and kind of what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everybody in chat. Good to see you guys. I'm Chris with Crop Culture. I'm the owner, founder, whatever. It's just a fun thing that you get to do when you start an LLC, right? I'm the CEO of Crop Culture. No, it's really just a one-person
Hey,
operation.
you got to make yourself sound big.
Right,
Absolutely. Go
exactly.
for it. Go
Yeah.
for it.
So for anybody that isn't familiar with crop culture, it started out as what I called a subscription box, just because I had the intention of actually having some sort of like a low cost recurring subscription box. But GoDaddy, which was the administrator that I decided to go through my website, they don't have a subscription model. So I said, you know what?
Mm.
I don't like when I forget to cancel a subscription for one of the boxes that I don't want and then get charged and have to go through the process of, returning it and then potentially having to pay, the shipping for return and all that. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to other people. So I created like the anti-subscription box, specific for home growers, kind of helping new growers or experienced growers, even, but really it's for help newer growers kind of bypass the learning curve of going and buying inferior genetics and inferior products and then having to learn the hard way and spend a lot of money on things that just don't work. I went through all of that, so I want to help people skip that part. And when you get a crop culture box, you're going to get something that you can be, assured that you're going to get absolute quality, because that's put at the forefront. Everything that I put in that box is quality. I don't skimp on anything. And you feel the love that goes into these boxes. Every single one is packed by me, and it's just so that when you open it, you want that wow factor. But the company's kind of evolved from a bi-monthly to a quarterly, and now I'm kind of at an impasse where the boxes, full transparency, are not performing, and I need to kind of adjust to the market, because the market is telling me that either it's too expensive, or now is not the right time, or it's just not really needed at a larger scale, because I think people are inundated with the amount of seeds that they have in their collections. So
Right.
I picked up the photography.
I can definitely vouch for that
We
one too.
all of us here are sitting on hordes of seeds, that we'll probably never get to, and then a new pack replaces the one that was next in line, and that gets buried sooner or later. We literally all go through it. So I picked up the photography to kind of diversify what I was doing in my offerings, because I had seen early on, getting into this scene, the work of like Eric Nugshots and Sticky Lens 420, and I was completely captivated by their photography. And I said, I don't care what it costs, I will learn how to do that. And I set out the next year to do that. And within the first year, I was published in Skunk Magazine and Grow Magazine. So I think that I have found something that I'm good at. I'm not really promoting it as much. It's just something that I just really enjoy doing creatively, and I love highlighting the breeders that I work with. A lot of them become friends of mine, and I love to be able to give them a video that showcases their genetics in the most beautiful way possible to help drive sales for their seeds. Because it's a grind for a lot of breeders. For most of them, I would say 10% of them, they could just sell seeds, and they could just cash that check every month, and it's just they have a horde of super followers and super fans. And for the rest of the 90%, they have to grind, and they're working 2-3 jobs, and it's awesome to be able to give them something, because it would cost a lot of money to do a full grow out and the full 360 and everything. Because trust me, I looked into it myself before I got into it. I wanted to know what the pricing was so I could just shatter it, because I think people charge too much and they make it inaccessible for the common home grower. And I think that there's a lot of reasons why,
especially like the new growers, like you were talking about, with going out and buying all this stuff that they don't need. Like, as a new grower, you don't want to go out and spend $200 on a pack of seeds for it to just not work because you germinated wrong or something.
Totally.
Operator error. When you're brand new, it happens. We've all done it. And I mean, I think that's cool that you're doing that, because like you said, it should be affordable for all of us. So I think that's dope. Oh yeah, and you're offering like some absolutely amazing genetics too on your website. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in there too. Like, not some of the stuff that you would think like, oh, I can go spend $50 and get this pack of seeds. Like, some of the stuff on your website you wouldn't think you could get for necessarily an affordable price, and you're like, holy shit, he's got them.
So I'll also say this about the seed selection. I am not a seed bank, but I have a large seed selection. I'm at the point now where I am kind of transitioning the business, because the seeds, people don't know to come to me for seeds to scale. Like a bunch of people, my friends and stuff, they know to come to me, but at scale, people don't know to come to me for seeds. So go to my website. If there's something on there, I'm like that you want, just send me a DM and I'll sell it to you for what I paid for it at this point. I'm looking to liquidate the collection, because what the hell am I going to do with a million freaking seeds? I would much rather just and I have some stuff that's like sold out from other breeders, because again, nobody knows to come to me. So I have some desirable stuff, and I don't jack up there's no secondary retail prices or any of that shit. None of it's marked up. So that's cool. If there's something you want, just shoot me a DM and I will definitely work with you.
That's awesome. That's another thing that I like. Like, you're a community guy, you know what I mean? Like, you're you're in the community, you're watching the lives. I see you in the chats all the time. Like you're one of us. You know what I mean? You're just
Oh
here
yeah.
hanging out, chopping it up, hanging with the gromies. So,
I
but at the
I
same
get
time, you're also running a business as well. But you're here just kind of hanging out like the gromies.
You
So
guys
I
are
think
my
that's
business.
good.
You know, this is the growing community is my business. If it wasn't
Yeah,
for them, I wouldn't have anything. So
yeah.
yeah, it's I get great satisfaction from being able to pass on a good value to somebody or help somebody out with some good advice. You know, that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah. I was saying in the chat that you taught him how to clone, and I think I remember that. I think that was a live that you guys did where you actually taught him how to clone one night on the live.
Yeah, that's right. I did a video that I on IG, a tutorial, and it's a really low cost thing. Like all you need is a Tupperware and some peat moss, which is $5 for a pack on Amazon, and filtered water. Like literally, that's it. And yeah, he picked it up and ran with it, and he's cloning like a motherfucker. He's
Yeah,
got so many things going on.
you just gave him more reason to put way too many plants in his
Yeah,
tent.
yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of have that tendency, right? It's like as soon,
Oh
especially
yeah,
when you learn cloning. I'm going to tell you, I've gotten to the point now where it's actually gotten stressful for me because I'm maintaining so many clones. It's kind of arduous in the morning. It's like, kind of gets like it's
yeah.
a bit of a chore, and then I'm like, oh God, did I water? I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot.
I feel that. Like I'm only doing 8 plants, but I went from having 5 tents set up 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, I guess, to going down to a 3 by 3 tent. And I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I have no plants anymore. I got 4 plants. I had like 50 before. Now I got 4.
Oof.
And then I went from 4 to 10, and I was like, oh shit, this is a lot more work again all of a sudden. I was like, damn it. It's still not on the same
Yeah.
scale that you're doing it, but I mean at the same time I was like I over doubled my plants and I was like shit. But
Honestly, I'm not doing it to any particular scale. When I do clones, I just do it to keep what I like around, and I will get a clone to have nice healthy roots, and I will harden that off for a few days, and I will go and put that in a 2 gallon. I will grow that out until it's big enough to take a couple of healthy clones, and then I'll kill that one off, or if I have tent space, I'll throw it in
yeah,
a flowering tent or whatever, and repeat the cycle. So I basically am just continuing to kick the can down the road until I'm ready to
preserving.
pop it in. Yeah, but it's a lot.
It's a smart way to do it. It's a lot easier to look after little plants than it is like a whole tent full of big plants. So it's a good
Definitely.
way to do it really. So yeah, that's cool. Um Do you want to talk about some of the people that you've worked with your boxes? Because I know there's a whole slew of people that you've been working with over the past what 2 years now? Is that about how long you've been doing this for with the boxes? So I know like I'll let you talk about it because there's I'm gonna miss a whole bunch of them probably because I know there's a bunch of them. So you want to talk about some of that?
Yeah. So my very first box, the launch box, was with the launch box.
I
It
like
kind of,
that.
anyway, it was with SoFem Genetics and Robinhood. Robinhood was a really nice get to come out of the gate with. SoFem, I don't know if anybody has paid attention to what SoFem has done, but he's got his hand on some like really good breeder cuts of late, and some of his recent stuff has been like outstanding. But I also have worked with Fat Cat Labs and Night Owl and Love It in Her Eyes, Sin City Seeds, Covert Genetics, All Kid Kaya, Beach It Tastes Good, Green Mountain Preservations. Gosh, there's help me out in chat, people. There's
A
others.
hell of
I'm sure.
that's already a hell of a list though. I mean like
Yeah.
that's a lot of people. A lot of breeders.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been several other, maybe not featured breeders along the way that have contributed to boxes. Wallapini, of course, Crimson, Dead by Dawn Genetics, multiple time contributor, and then our featured breeder for the season 4 Seed to Harvest podcast box. And there's been Goonie Genetics and several others. So appreciative to everybody that's contributed, because when they send me, the freebies, they go directly into people's boxes and packages as added value, just kind of help spread the, awareness of the breeder, but also just, pack more value into these boxes. So they're definitely helping me out when they contribute. So it's definitely a reciprocated relationship.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. And not only the breeders, but like you've worked with Jeremy from Build a Soil, Scott from Herbs Now,
Yep.
Root Nerds. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yes,
I know there's a lot more.
thank you for yes, AC Infinity. There's been a lot, and I guess, well, I mean, we can kind of spill the beans. I don't know, Al. I'm gonna ask Al. Are you cool if I go ahead and spill the beans on the season 4 box, who our partners are? I'll go ahead and wait for a response. But yeah, we got some fun stuff cooking. And after this box, like I kind of alluded to earlier, kind of transitioning the business, I think there's only going to be one more box that's going to be something that I was really excited about. I was going to do a follow-up with the goat grinder, but with a twist. The goat grinder, which is the greatest grinder of all time, he has these like super limited stainless steel ones that are like $150 grinders. So people are going to get that at like a really, really affordable price. And that's going to be the last grinder you'll ever need in your life. And it'll be with Romulan Genetics. So I'm super excited about that. And shout out to Thurgood Jenkins, because I know that he had been a tester for him for a while. And instead of me just like cold reaching out to a breeder, I said, hey, would you mind just putting in a good word? And he went above and beyond and got me an email address, and I got in contact with Jake right away, and he was fantastic. So he doesn't even know this yet, because it's going to be more of a transactional one. It's not going to be quite as involved, but Romulan is on deck. But for the season 4 Seed to Harvest podcast box, as I mentioned before, it's going to be with Dead by Dawn Genetics, and we're working with Gambit Growing. Connor, another super supportive member of the community and fellow Canadian for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great guy. So excited about that one, and I'm bringing the pricing back down. This is going to be very, very attainable for people, and it's going to be a loaded box. There's a lot of stuff in it, so very excited about that one. And there's going to be a special promotion with this one. This is going to be the theme is hunting season. It's going to be a pheno hunting theme. It's a bit of a stretch, but bear with me. For people that grow out any of the genetics that are included in the box from Dead by Dawn within the year, they have the full year. We're going to do a community vote, and the top 5 vote getters are going to get a photo shoot from me of their finished dried flower, and I will do like the full 360 spin. They will get the video assets so they can post it to social or get prints on posters or whatever. So you're going to get like the full white glove treatment for a macro photo shoot for free. So kind of a fun little incentive to get people to grow these out and show us what you can do.
Yeah, that's a really cool extra. You know what I mean? Like on top of everything else, you get the genetics from Dead by Dawn, you grow them out, and yeah, man, that's fucking cool. Your macro photography is outstanding, by the way, Kris.
Thank you.
Putting that out there. I've been watching, I've been looking, and I know it's a lot of work too. Like I don't know everything that goes into it, but I know like one thing is like a million photos and everything is stacked and everything. It's just, I had somebody explain it to me one time and I just went, oh man, I don't have time to do that. But I wish
So
I
I'm
did because it's,
curious how you come up with all of these names for every box. Like you said, there's the hunting one. I think I seen something about another name. I can't
Uh,
remember all the names. I know you have so many.
it all right. So here's the thing with that. I kind of let the featured items sometimes drive the creative theme. You know, so really, this is the honest to God truth. There is no big creative elaborate process. I have my work computer over here, like my regular day job, and I don't like doing it all that much. So I try to be on this computer a lot more because this is where I have all the creative stuff. But like if an idea pops into my head for an idea an item rather that I want or a theme, sometimes I'll literally build the box around a theme and get items that I think I can kind of tie in loosely. But to be honest, like it's really hard. Like you run out of ideas and products really fast, especially if you're trying to keep it to like really quality products and
Yeah.
even if you can quality people too, which is even a smaller pool. Because I feel like I've had a lot of really quality people that I've worked with as well, like supportive
oh
community
yeah.
people. There's some people that I still would love to work with. Hygrozyme is one of them, and Rooted Leaf I would love to work with in some capacity. So I'm not going to shut the door to boxes in the future. Just keeping it ajar. I'm just closing it for now.
Yeah. If you ever need an in for Hygersheim, I could definitely put the word in for you
I
because
figured you could, and I would appreciate that because I have listened to quite a bit of their interviews. I think they had like I think two at least on Growcast, where Doug, I think he's one of the scientists, right?
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah,
super
really
smart.
really cool people. Like you could totally tell that they are not the type the certain nutrient companies out there, or it's all about profit and they're very corporate. You could tell Hygrozyme is not one of those.
No.
No, like man, the amount of like free samples they gave out when they
Yeah,
first started, like
that's
I'm
expensive
not
too
even
to
gonna
do
say when
that.
they first started because they've been in business for
They
like
still
50
do.
years. But they came out with some of their newer stuff and they were just like, message us, we'll give you free shit. And that's what they did. And um they've been great to us. You know, they're one of my sponsors and I've been working with Hygrozyme now for at least 2 years. And like they're absolutely amazing people over there. Not just the company, like the nutrients and stuff like that are great too, but the people involved are
Yeah,
all amazing. Like Amir, I believe he's the CEO, and then Leanne is one of the reps, and then Eula, she's graphic design and one of the reps as well. And like there's so many of them.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
love
if
to
you
work with
ever need an in, I'll talk to Leanne and let her know.
them. Okay, okay,
'Cause I think that would be super cool.
yeah,
It would
absolutely.
be.
Let's make it
And
happen.
I love their products too. Like that's what I'm running all of my stuff with right now is Hygrozyme.
Awesome,
So yeah, they're
very
kicking
cool.
ass right now. But yeah.
Is your
Um
products international or?
So I do ship international. I have shipped several times, probably 10 times to Canada. With the recent, there's been shipping problems that I've had of late. I had a package held up in New Zealand for 4 months. The poor girl, she's been unbelievably patient. I've worked with, no, we've literally been, she's been making payments for a year, over a year. We started last March. She had a huge seed order and she's been making payments, bless her heart. And she finally paid it off. And that thing sat in a fucking customs office in a closet somewhere for 4 freaking months with no updates. And I was finally able to get a hold of somebody, and they're like, "Oh, we need the phyto sanitary certificate or whatever." I was like, "Shit, okay." I never marked seeds before, and they flag that. So anyone shipping seeds overseas, don't mark it as seeds unless you actually have the phytosanitary certificate, I think it is.
Yeah.
Basically that it's not infected. So they had to ship that back, and they tried to charge me $500 for it. $500.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I laughed. I was like, yeah,
Wow.
you're never getting this ever in a million years. I saw them like ignoring them like debt collectors at this point. And kiss my
Yeah,
ass,
That's crazy.
take me to court.
that
500.
is crazy.
Yeah, I would almost just send another one at the $500 price. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck.
Insane.
That sucks. Yeah, that's brutal, man. I feel like same like it's seeds, nutrients, all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I know you were doing the build a soil stuff too, and I have a feeling that some of his stuff might be hard to get into Canada as well.
Yeah.
Because for some reason here in Canada, it is such a pain in the ass to try to get
Yes.
nutrients. And if they're not labeled a certain way, or they're not called something that they like, they flag it, and it's just like fuck. Like perfect example, Hygrozyme's a Canadian company. They
I
came
think
out
they
with
need French and
their hygro,
English labels too.
yeah, but they came out with their Hygro Ben. They couldn't even sell that in Canada. That came out in the US before it came out in Canada, and they're based in
They're a
Canada. Their factory
Canadian
is in
business.
Canada. They couldn't sell it here. So it was released in the US for like 6 months or something before it even came here.
Wow.
So just
It
because
just
of
goes to show
wording
you,
and
like,
labels and
people that aren't maybe in a legal state right now, and they, years ago, I'm sure looked at Canada like, oh, Canada is legal. Like, I'm jealous, right? And I'm sure you guys can attest, it is anything
oh
but,
yeah.
it's legal. Like, I'm sure it feels restricted as shit. Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Well, like
a lot of
I
people
look
stay
at
like
places like Ohio, and I think they got what 12 plant count to grow. I know there's
unless that
places in the
recently
US that
changed.
have
I think one of those Midwest states recently just like
I
changed.
I know they're talking about changing everything over there. I know Kind Buds was telling us they're changing everything, or they're trying to. But I
Yeah.
know there's a bunch of places in the US that have a 12 plant count, where here it's 4. And it
Mm.
doesn't matter what stage they're in. If they're seedlings, if they're germinated seeds, like
Oh wow,
if it's got a root, it's a plant. And if you're only allowed
Oh,
4 of
that
yeah.
them.
sucks. That's
Yeah.
So
bad.
there's
Oh, so
there's
here in
no
Illinois,
perpetual. It's crazy.
that sucks. We have 5, but we can also have plants under, I think it's like 5 inches height. So you can have clones, keep clones actively. But still, at 5 plant count, that you ain't in a perpetual if you're even a moderate smoker, or if you have like, a significant other that also smokes, forget about it.
Yeah.
You're definitely still buying at the dispensary at that point, unless
Oh.
you're growing monsters.
Exactly,
Good for you.
100%. But we can get medical licenses over here that are absolutely crazy. Like I think it's a 496 plant license to grow in my house, and like
That'll do.
they'll do it. And then you can still grow your 4 recreational plants on top of it.
Sweet.
So I could still have the 500 plants if I really
Yeah.
wanted to, but for somebody like me, you could go out and get like a 25 plant license for pretty cheap. You renew it every year, and then you're in the clear. You grow 10, 15 plants, you never have to worry about, do I have too many? I didn't count them, I better make sure. As long as you kind of keep it within your means, I mean, you can do it for a reasonable price if you really want to. So we do have ways around the 4 plants, but it costs money. So
Yep.
Canada's
it
great.
does.
We were up there with some of the first people to go federal, and it was just kind of like, everybody was super excited about it, and then it was like, wait a minute, 4 plants isn't very many. Like I grow 4 plants and that's gone before my next harvest, whether I start them right now or not. So, and I know poor Bunny struggles with making it to her next harvest as well. But yeah, it can be
That's why I
brutal.
like outdoors.
Yep.
Yeah. You do
Grow
any outdoor
monsters.
plants?
What's that?
Do you do any outdoor?
Reluctantly, yeah. This year will probably be very small scale. We are focusing. We're doing a lot outside of cannabis this year. Like for the outside gardens, we're putting in 8 4x8 garden beds to go in addition to what we already had, and planting a whole bunch of native plants and grasses. And then, we're going hard on the dahlias again this year, and a whole bunch of like native flowers and stuff. So that'll be probably occupying a lot of my outdoor time. And then we got chickens too. So started with 6, and then a week later we had to get 2 more because they laid special colored eggs. So here we are with 8.
Yeah, I saw that actually in your story. I think either today or yesterday I saw it. They're just little babies.
I know, they're so cute.
Cool.
I don't want to eat chicken anymore. I'm like connected.
Don't say it too loud. Don't say it too loud. You might end up with 2 or 3 more of them.
No. No, the next, I think the next progression is it goes ducks, then goats, then cow, right? Correct me, chat.
Yeah. Hey, ducks are cool too, though. I mean,
yeah,
you get eggs from them. I mean, at least they're productive. You know what I mean? Like, at least your chickens, you'll be eating breakfast every day, no problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think ducks are bigger eggs or something, though.
They do, yeah.
That's pretty
like
cool.
A mental hurdle for me, like eating a duck egg. I don't know. It's so stupid. It's like it's an egg, right? But it's kind of like I have the same thing with like goat milk. I don't know. It's like a mental hurdle. If there was cat milk, I wouldn't drink that.
Right.
I don't know.
That's funny. We were actually talking about a job that we did a couple years ago when it was on a goat farm, and we were talking about, like we're doing concrete, and then all of a sudden you hear this fucking goat, and you look up and there's like 3 of them standing right in front of you, and you're like, oh man, don't walk through here, please.
Oh,
but yeah, goats are fucking funny. Yeah, you should definitely get some goats. Add to the farm. Add to the crop culture farm.
Oh God. Well, fortunately, we are under the 1.5 acre requirement to have goats, just by like 0.3. So I don't have to worry about that.
So what was it that made you decide to get chickens? Like, was it like your wife, kids? Was it
both? It was just, they just beat me down over like 4 years. And because my whole contention was like, all right, so we go buy this, expensive coop and spend all this money to get the setup. When is the break even point on our, 6 eggs a week, whatever it is,
right?
Even with eggs prices now, it's, but then I realized that there's a return on happiness too that I have to take into consideration, because they like really, really love it. It brings them joy. And it's also a lifestyle thing that I want my kids to experience. I think it's important for them to see us out there gardening and, trying to take care of our soil and stuff, even though they might not get it right now, even though our 3-year-old he gets it. Like, he's our little farmer.
That's cool.
I think that they'll absorb this stuff now, and they'll retain it, and they'll get older and hopefully, remember those things fondly.
Oh, definitely. You know how many people come on Friday nights, and we always ask, like, what was it that got you into gardening? And they go, well, when I was a kid, my mom used to do all these flowers, or I used to work with my grandma in the garden. I'd go there for the summer, and I learned everything about gardening from my grandma or my dad. So people, they remember that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. Like, we were talking about this the other night on one of our shows. I had, when my kid was 5, he was learning how to pH nutrients and, helping me water the vegetable garden and watching me water my cannabis plants and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's super cool to get the kids involved.
Yeah, I agree.
It's definitely important.
Yeah.
That way they can also learn a little bit of like self-sustainability. Not only that, but they can learn what work actually goes into growing food and flowers. It's like, it's not like they can, I guess, understand the prices when they get a little older. They can go to the grocery store and go, now I understand why produce is so expensive, because there's a lot of work that goes into this.
Right.
So
yeah. Absolutely. And then the bonding experience, being able to spend time with your kids is never bad time spent.
No, and
Exactly.
I think that's such a good way to do it because I don't know about your kids, but my kids live on their tablets, their PlayStations, their everything. So if you can get them out of the garden or not out of the garden, if you can get them into the garden for even 5, 10 minutes a day, that's less time spent on the screen. It's frying their brains. So
Yep.
I think that's really good. Like
Yep.
more of us need to do that.
Agreed.
If it's available to them, if they have that space, or even if it's one house plant or something, take one
And
house plant and
even
teach
if
your kid
you're in
how
an
to grow.
apartment, find a community garden. They all a lot of cities out there have community gardens, and you could get a
Yeah,
little plot and just go plant something.
yeah,
Just don't even take it seriously if you don't have to. It's just watch something grow with your kids. That'd be, I think, something that definitely worth looking into.
yeah. I tried to get my kid into. I asked him one time. I was like, "Why don't you pick something that you want to grow? Like you pick the plant, the flower, the vegetable, whatever it is. You pick it, and we'll grow it together."
Yeah.
He picked a palm tree. Well,
Okay.
we live in Canada, and palm trees don't just grow here, and
They don't
You
exist
have to have
here.
the climate talk with him, the zone talk.
it takes 3 months to germinate one seed.
Oh
So
God.
I didn't realize this. So I was like, okay. So I go on the internet and I'm like, Googling palm tree seeds and how the hell do I get a palm tree seed here in Canada? So I got like 3 or 4 different kinds of them or whatever. Then I started doing research and I learned that it takes 3 months. I was like, great. I'm gonna germinate this seed and a week's gonna go by and he's already gonna have lost interest in this. Like if he picked a bean or something, it would have been 3 feet tall by a week later. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
like,
there
no,
you
of
go.
course my kid picks a fucking palm tree.
Oh my God.
So it didn't happen. The seed did
Yeah,
germinate, but
yeah.
it didn't go much farther than that. It takes like 3 years to get that big.
Uh,
So,
that's one of those things you just go to the local plant nursery and just get one that's already started, like a smaller one. I
yeah.
Full transparency, I'll do that with like some of the vegetables and stuff. Like if I had seedlings that I started and they didn't really go and I got space, or sometimes there's like late season things that you could plant, still get a harvest
Yeah.
before fall. I'll just go to the local plant nursery and pick up a few things. Usually you can get them cheap too at that point of the season.
Yeah. We call them the plant shelters. You're
Yes.
there to rescue the plants.
Yes. Which one
Plant
speaks to you?
orphanage.
The orphanage.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah. That's funny. Hell yeah. What's your favorite thing to grow outside?
Oh, the dahlias. The
Yeah.
dahlias are so amazing. So, real cool thing about dahlias, when you get a fresh seed that came from we'll call it an F1. We'll call it a first generation. They have single
Okay.
petals and they're pretty basic looking, kind of look like daisies. But if you cross pollinate that with another single petal, your seeds from that will be something completely different. And if that gets pollinated with
Hmm.
something else, it'll be completely different from that. Every seed is a little gem, and you have no idea what you're going to get. And they are
That's
all
cool.
stunningly beautiful. So you plant a bunch of them, and there's nothing more exciting than waiting for them to open up, because you're like, oh my God, what are they going to be? Because the shapes are infinite, the colors are infinite, the combos,
Yeah.
like the petal shapes, like it's just, they are phenomenal. And if you give them space, they will get huge, and you will get crazy healthy blooms, and you could sell to a local florist or some shit. Like, dude,
That's
dahlias
cool.
are where it's at. They are so much fun.
I have to look into those. I did
Yeah.
um oh my God, now I can't even remember what they're called. Um, the orange flowers, you plant them around in your garden because they fight off pests and
Oh,
stuff.
oh yeah. Why am I blanking on marigolds?
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
grew a
Go
few
like,
different
oh
versions of
God.
marigolds 2 years ago, I guess, and they were super cool because you just fucking pick the flowers off and save the seeds. You grow a few flowers, you have a million seeds, enough for life.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
Are they like that too? Are the dahlias like that too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Same exact way. Yeah. So,
That's cool.
you also, if you find a plant that you really, really like, you could save that. So they grow underground and these things called tubers, and it kind of looks like a root vegetable. And you dig that
Okay.
up and you store it over the winter in like sawdust or something like that, to basically keep it from getting moist over the winter. Keep it in like
Yeah.
50 to 60 degree temperature. So out in the garage or whatever, plant it in the ground in spring, and you got the exact genetic replica of that flower that you love from the previous season. You can just keep them going and then build your collection like we do with our cannabis plants. We find strains that we really love. We keep clones of that, and we move on from others, and then we build our collection. No different.
That's cool. That's cool. And they self-pollinate, or like how does that work? Because you were saying if they pollinate.
Nope, you're gonna need the help of bees. So that's the beauty of
Okay.
it. Where
If that
if you're
happens, you don't
really
even
out,
necessarily know until it
right?
happens.
Correct.
That's even cooler.
Yep.
It's like a Kinder surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. A
That's
little tip
awesome.
with marigolds, because they are wonderful companion plants. Be very careful with planting them too close to cannabis plants, because marigolds are thrip magnets. But
Hmm.
if you already have a plant with thrips, then put marigolds there. But
And then they just
otherwise, keep them on the perimeter. If you're outdoors, if you can help it, just a little bit further out, so that way it'll draw the thrips to and
to
from.
those instead. Yeah, that's a good idea. So don't plant them in the same pot like I did.
And I'm only saying that because I learned it happened to me.
Yeah. Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah, I did a 25-gallon pot a couple years ago, and I tried to make it look all pretty. I did like hanging plants that come over the
Yeah,
sides and
I love those.
marigolds in the middle, and then the next pot beside it was a tomato plant with more herbs and marigolds and stuff like that in there. But I planted them right in the same pots as my cannabis plants, and not knowing that. So that's good to know. That's a good tip. I've always just been
That
told
is a good
they're great
tip.
for pest management, like a natural pest management,
Yeah,
not
they're
knowing that that's what they do with thrips.
absolutely. I mean, because you hear about the companion plants, it's always good to take a 2 second Google search just to make sure that the desired pest that you're trying to deter is, it's going to be compatible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because a marigold is going to be probably a great companion plant for a tomato, but maybe not for cannabis in the same
yeah,
container.
yeah, exactly. No, I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And I think they also keep like rabbits and stuff out too, if I remember correctly.
Yep, definitely worth getting some stuff like get really aromatic herbs like rosemaries and things like that. Those are really good pest deterrents typically.
Yeah. Nice. Do you do any companion planting inside? Like, do you do any like cover crops or anything like that?
I do cover crop, but I only really do the cover crop intentionally in my 30 gallon and in my 4x2 bed, my soil bed. All the other stuff, if I have cover crop in there, it's really just for fun, just because I like to see what grows out of it. Because I know
Yeah.
in a small container, it's really not doing anything, but
Right.
um, it's still fun. But I've
Yeah.
I've done a couple of. I actually did marigolds in the 4x2 bed. They did not grow very well, and they grow very
Hmm.
lanky. Yeah,
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't
The
care.
U maybe
I'm not doing
UV's
it
not
again.
strong enough or something?
I don't know what. I think it was just the light was blocked out by all the leaves. It just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
got
a
hit.
canopy and they're
Yeah,
only like this big, so yeah.
yeah.
Now that
So
makes sense. Like I had the marigolds in mine and then all of a sudden they were just gone.
yeah.
There's
Oh,
like
they will
one day
just.
they were
Yep.
there and then they were non-existent. They just weren't
Yep.
there anymore. I was like, "Oh, that's weird. They were here yesterday."
They packed their shit and left.
It's like, oh, I guess they didn't like the soil. Fuck them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you use any like IPM sprays or anything like that? Do you like have any go-tos for
Yeah.
your indoor garden? Like, is it the indoor garden different from your outdoor garden?
So I will use ferments as my primary defense. Ferments along with trichoderma. So I use Rootwise. Rootwise has trichoderma in it, so I'll use a little bit of Rootwise in filtered water, and that's a really good preventative. And then if I have an active issue, I will go to like a Dr. Zymes or a Captain Jack's Dead Bug or one of those, depending on what the issue is. But for the most part, for me, it's more about preventative. So I'm really regimented about every single morning. I will spray either some sort of a fermented plant extract or the Rootwise, alternating, never the same, because they're going to be kind of diminishing returns,
Yeah.
But the
I feel
best
like
protection
they
against
get
pests
used
is
to it
healthy
after a
plants.
while too. They get used to it after a while too. So if you're
Yes, they
spraying the
do.
same thing constantly, it's like you're almost not doing yourself any favors. So if you,
Yes.
like you said, you rotate them.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's cool.
And then I'll put a little bit of like a Kuyaha in there to act as a surfactant to kind of keep that on the leaf surface for a little bit longer. But that's really been pretty much it. Then like I say, the best defense against pests is a really healthy plant with very active biology in your soil. If you are a soil grower, of course. But even if you are hydroponics or some other form of soilless media, it's still a very effective pest management because anybody can get pests, soil or not. So spray, doing a really fine mist with foliar spray with your plant extracts or trichoderma, you'll be pretty good shape.
Nice. Have you ever had like a pest problem? Like, is that why you're so diligent about it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Had thrips a couple of times, and fungus gnats have been an issue when I was first getting used to the sub-irrigated watering. I was getting a lot of what we call like wet feet, having the plant kind of sit in water for a really long time if it's not drinking. If it's already past the stretch phase, for instance, and it's just kind of stagnant, you could have issues. Or if the plant's not big enough and the root system isn't big enough to absorb the water, it'll just kind of sit there. So there was some definite learning curves with like the autopots and even the earth boxes. Even though I'm a huge advocate of both, I think they're both wonderful. But they, take some practice. They're not perfect.
Yeah. Anything that we do, whether it's grow hydroponically, grow in soil, grow in cocoa, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
There's anything that you switch to in your learning, there's going to be a learning curve involved, and you're going to run into issues. And it doesn't mean that it's not good. It just means you haven't figured it out yet. So
Right. That's
yeah, how
exactly
did
it.
you battle your thrips? Because I had them twice, and they were a fucking nightmare.
Yep. So thrips. So you could do sprays and everything, but the problem with sprays is you have to be very, very diligent with it, and you have to stay on top of it, because you might get even if you happen to get everything that's alive on the plant, you have the larva on the leaves that you don't see, on the stem, in the soil.
Yeah.
So they're coming up and going down constantly. They're blowing with your damn fans and shit because they go airborne. They jump. They're little fuckers. I hate thrips. So
Brutal, man. Absolutely brutal.
the advice that I'm about to give is going to be predicated on a couple of big contingencies here. So diatomaceous earth is one of my favorite things to use if you have a thrip outbreak. You coat the surface of your soil with an inch thick of diatomaceous earth. It is not expensive, and you got to get like just the food grade stuff and just coat it. But you can't have just watered because it's going to turn into like a clay and it's going to brick up on you. You don't want that. So if you are watering from the bottom, or if you have the ability to for like about at least a week to 10 days, great. If you have no choice but to top water, what I would say is give a very good watering one day. Let that settle for probably 48 hours, so that topsoil isn't quite as mucky. Then just deck it on there, because what's going to happen is the thrips, they don't live up on your leaf surface. They come back down to the soil to lay eggs. So they're going to come back down. They're going to be like, oh, what's this white shit? Oh, too late, you're dead. And it's going to dry them out. So any soft body insects, and it's going to work for fungus gnats, aphids, if you have them. And by leaving that on there, it's going to get all of the, so they're going to be born and die instantly because they're going to be suffocated, which sounds like a terrible way to go, but fuck thrips. So it's that's what they get. But that's a really good way to go about it. And the diatomaceous earth is actually it's good for your soil. So you could you just work it straight into your soil. It's totally fine. But if you're kind of grossed out by the fact that you got a bunch of bug carcasses, as you should, you could totally scoop that out too, and just maybe scrape like the top inch of your soil, put some fresh soil in there, and then just be diligent. Just pay attention to any further leaf damage. You know what it looks like. It's that blotchy, silvery, shiny look. It's very easy to detect.
You noticed it right away, and you're like, "Oh fuck!"
Absolutely, you see it
First
down
words
on the
that
lower,
came to mind.
first. Yep. So just be
I know
diligent, and then it doesn't hurt to spray too. Do a spray, but make sure you apply by the directions on the bottle, because some of them are oil based, some are water based, and some will need lights on, some will need lights off. So just make sure you do it by the bottle, because I'm not sure the specifics on both some of the real popular ones, but like Canitrol is a really good one, or what? It's Mammoth. It's the Mammoth P. It's Canitrol. Yeah, I'm thinking of the Canitrol, the curing
machine
refrigerator. That's not what I meant though. But just be diligent, and you'll be good.
Yeah, beautiful. So, do you got anything new coming up that you want to talk about quick? We're coming up on the hour, which it flew by. Do you have anything that you haven't talked about that you want to bring up briefly before we do end the show?
The only other thing is I got a new cross that I'm really excited about dropping called Cloudy Skies. It's going to be a cross between my Paeonia Glue Skies and Coconut Cloud from Sin City Seeds, which is RS11, and their Blue Power, which is their that's like the strain that put them on the map. So should be a really good one. I put on there on my announcement graphic 515. For some reason I thought it was like 420 in my head, so I had like more time. The seeds are going to actually need about an extra week or so. I don't want anybody to have any duds. I want to make sure that it's right, so it might be delayed a week or two. So don't kill me, but they'll be coming at the end of May.
Cool, nice. And do you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah. So really the only social that I pay much attention to is the Instagram. So it's the handle's right there. It's crop_culture_box. I am on Facebook, never use it. And also on X, again, reluctantly. That's just crop culture box, no underscores or anything like that. But yeah. Appreciate you guys having me on.
I was going to try to share your website on there, but I thought I had it.
Oh yeah, my website. Yeah, cropculture.net. Thank you. You've bailed me out a couple of times tonight, Gannick. So I see you.
I'm trying. No, I thought I had your website up there ready so I could share the screen, and then I was like, "Fuck, it's gone." So that's okay. But I got links to your website down below, to your Instagram down below. So if anybody wants to go find out what Crop Culture Box is all about, go check out the website and see for yourself because there's some cool shit on there. Cool merch. There's your slap game, your sticker game is on point.
Thank you.
It's ridiculous. You have more designs for stickers than anybody else in the game, by far.
It's an obsession. Yeah.
You were the kid back in the day that was like trading. Remember the old books that you could buy with the sticker packs, and you were putting them
I
in there.
have
Yeah.
I know you had them.
I've always been the kid collecting. Period. Just
Yeah.
collecting. So yeah.
Oh, I can see in the background there. You got the
Yeah.
superhero collection. That's cool.
Yeah, I have gotten to all right. So at 41 years old, I've gotten to this point in my life where I'm going to embrace my nerd. I like what I like. I don't give a shit if it makes me seem childish or whatever. I love this stuff. I still love this stuff. You know,
Yep.
30 years after I was collecting all of them, and you know, whatever. You know, YOLO, right?
Exactly. You worked for it, man. You collect whatever you want. You worked for it, so you earned it.
We all like our things, right?
That's right. Yeah, we did. For sure.
Yeah.
But man, we appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure to sit down and shoot the shit.
Appreciate
And
you.
anytime, man. You want to come back on a Friday and show the garden? You're more than welcome.
I am definitely
Same
that would be
time,
cool.
same channel. And yeah, anytime you want, man. Just let us know and we'll get you up here for sure.
Sounds good.
And you're welcome back on Wednesday too. Anytime you want. You want to come back, just let us know.
All right. Will do. I appreciate it, guys.
No,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you
man.
so much.
Absolutely. And good luck on the march to 1,000. I'll be watching.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah, we're just a little over 700 now, so we're kind of going for that push to the
All right.
1,000 mark.
Got a crop culture box out there, so go subscribe, people.
Hell yeah!
That's
See,
right.
you heard it from Kris. So
It'll be a
yes,
good one, I promise.
nice. All right, brother. We thank
All
you
right,
very
guys.
much for being here, and you have yourself a good night and great rest of the week. And yeah,
Yes.
we'll chat
You
soon.
guys too. Take care.
Yeah.
All right, later, dude.
See ya.
What a great
Oh
show.
yeah, that was a good show. He's such a cool dude.
He is. That was really fun.
Photography
I
is
I was gonna
amazing.
say. Yes.
Amazing. Here, let me do this. Hold on. Quick. We'll do it quick.
Yeah, because my kiddo's still doing his thing.
We'll do it quick.
That is so nice.
Yeah, he's got some really, really nice stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah. He's got some cool shit on there, man. So yeah, go check out his Instagram, check out his website, and show some love.
Yes, and don't
Oh.
forget Friday is Show Your Grow, so we'll come on and show your gardens. And next Wednesday we have the Auto Queen herself, Miss Cece, coming on. So that's
Yeah.
going to be a really fun episode too. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna learn all things CC and auto flowers. So that'll be cool. It'll be really cool. And Friday, Bunny won't be dressed up like Kind Buds.
It's not too late yet.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, yeah. Show your grow.
That's right. All right. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you on Friday.
Catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Cheers.